Imagine walking across a dusty desert, your boots crunching against rock and sand, when suddenly you see it, a curved ridge of bone, poking out from the earth like a secret waiting to be told. That's how many forgotten giants were discovered by chance, by curiosity, or by sheer accident. While the world is obsessed with names like T-Rex and Velociraptor, the fossil record tells a deeper, more mysterious story. Scattered across remote badlands and ancient quarries lie the remains of dinosaurs so massive, so strange, that they challenge our understanding of evolution itself. Some were misclassified, others were buried in forgotten museum drawers for decades, and a few vanished completely. These aren't the headline-grabbing predators. These are the lost giants creatures that once roamed the earth, but disappeared not just from the world, but from our memory. Some fossils were set aside as unimportant, others misidentified, and some lost to time, conflict, or bureaucracy. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover their stories one by one. From titans taller than buildings to herbivores with bizarre armor, each fossil holds a clue to a prehistoric drama long buried beneath our feet. Ready to dig deeper. In 1878, paleontologist Edward Cope described a dinosaur so massive it defied belief, named Amphicoelias fragilimus. This sauropod was estimated to be over 200 feet long, twice the length of a blue whale. But here's the twist: the only fossil evidence, a single vertebra, mysteriously disappeared shortly after its discovery. All that remains is a hand-drawn sketch and Cope's written notes. For over a century, scientists have debated whether Amphicoelias ever existed, or if its size was exaggerated in the competitive bone wars of the 19th century, a time when rival paleontologists rushed to name the biggest and most impressive dinosaurs, sometimes at the cost of accuracy. Was it a mistake? An overblown claim? Or did we lose one of the greatest discoveries in dinosaur history due to carelessness or pride? Today, some scientists wonder if the fossil could be rediscovered in forgotten crates, mislabeled in storage. Others call it paleontological folklore. Yet, even with doubts, the legend persists, if real. Amphicoelias could represent a chapter of evolution we've barely glimpsed. Perhaps the most terrifying idea isn't that it never existed, but that it did, and we lost it forever. In the late 1980s, a group of Indian paleontologists uncovered what they believed to be the remains of a giant dinosaur in southern India, named Bruhathkayosaurus. Its name literally means huge-bodied lizard. Estimates suggest that it may have been heavier than any known dinosaur, including Gigantoraptor. But once again, the bones quickly disappeared. Monsoon rains destroyed the fragile fossils before they could be safely preserved. All that remains are a few photographs and brief documentation. When news first broke, it sparked excitement and skepticism. Some researchers doubted the interpretation, questioning whether the bones were even dinosaurian. Others saw potential in the find, suggesting that India's late Cretaceous environment may have fostered giants unlike anything seen before. Today, Bruhathkayosaurus is trapped in scientific limbo. Modern tools like satellite mapping and digital stratigraphy could help relocate its fossil site. But funding and access remain barriers. If rediscovered and confirmed, it might force paleontologists to rewrite the size limits of terrestrial life. But until that day comes, it remains one of the greatest what-ifs in dinosaur paleontology, a giant known only through rumor, record, and a tragic twist of weather. When scientists first uncovered a set of enormous claws in Mongolia in the 1940s, they assumed they belonged to a massive turtle. The claws were over 3 feet long, sharp, curved, and intimidating. It wasn't until decades later that researchers realized the truth. The claws belonged to Therizinosaurus, one of the strangest dinosaurs ever discovered. Despite its terrifying hands, this beast wasn't a predator. It was a giant, feathered herbivore. Imagine a pot-bellied creature with the neck of a giraffe, the body of a sloth, and the claws of a monster, then add feathers. That's Therizinosaurus. For years, it was a fringe oddity in scientific circles. Too weird, too hard to classify, too easy to dismiss. Yet it plays a crucial role in understanding the diversity of theropods and their evolutionary links to birds. It challenges our preconceptions about what dinosaurs looked like and how they behaved. Some believe its claws were for foraging. Others suggest display or defense. Whatever the answer, one thing's clear. Therizinosaurus proves nature doesn't care about our categories. It exists to surprise us. When Dreadnoughtus was unearthed in Patagonia in 2005, it made headlines, but only briefly. Despite being one of the most complete giant sauropods ever discovered, it was quickly pushed aside in public imagination by flashier or more mysterious finds. But Dreadnoughtus deserves far more recognition. Its name means fears nothing, and this 65-ton titan was still growing when it died, likely just a teenager. Unlike many giant dinosaur discoveries, Dreadnoughtus came with an exceptionally preserved skeleton, including limbs, tail, and part of the neck. This allowed scientists to accurately estimate its mass and better understand its movement. Computer models based on the skeleton suggest it had powerful muscles and an efficient stride for such a massive creature. Yet, even with these insights, Dreadnoughtus rarely features in museum exhibits or documentaries. Why? Perhaps it lacks the mystique of less complete fossils. Or perhaps it came too late, in a world already saturated with dinosaur media. But in terms of scientific value, few fossils rival it. Dreadnoughtus shows us that some giants were not just big, they were biomechanical masterpieces. Its story is a reminder that even well-preserved marvels can be forgotten if we fail to keep telling their tale. Discovered in Mongolia in 2005, Gigantoraptor shattered assumptions. At over 16 feet tall and weighing 2 tons. It was the largest known feathered dinosaur, massive enough to tower over a human or rival a T-Rex in height. But it didn't have sharp teeth or claws designed for killing. Instead, it likely had a beak and feathered limbs, perhaps even a display crest or plume. Some paleontologists speculate it may have been omnivorous, while others believe it nested and cared for its young. Its legs suggest it could run quickly, perhaps to chase food or avoid danger. This combination of speed, size, and feathers paints an eerie picture, a towering, bird-like creature sprinting across prehistoric plains like a monstrous cassowary. Yet, Gigantoraptor remains largely unknown outside scientific circles. It doesn't fit the Hollywood image of a dinosaur monster, and so it's often overlooked. But this giant oviraptorid holds vital clues about how dinosaurs transitioned toward modern birds. Its existence challenges our assumptions and proves that evolution doesn't always follow a straight path. Sometimes it creates a 2-ton bird with legs like a cheetah and arms like a windmill. While South America and North America have become famous for their colossal dinosaurs, Africa's fossil giants often remain in the shadows. One of the most overlooked is Rebbachisaurus, a long-necked sauropod from Morocco. It lived during the mid-Cretaceous and may have stretched over 60 feet long. What makes it special is its sail-like back formed by elongated vertebrae that may have helped regulate temperature, display dominance, or even store fat like a camel's hump. Despite these unusual features, Rebbachisaurus is rarely featured in books or museums. Part of the reason is geopolitical fossil excavation in North Africa has faced decades of instability, limited funding, and the illegal fossil trade. Additionally, paleontology in Africa has often been underfunded compared to Western institutions. As a result, Rebbachisaurus became a giant more familiar to smugglers than students. But this dinosaur may represent a crucial branch of sauropod evolution, bridging gaps between lineages in South America and Europe. Its fossils offer rare insight into African ecosystems of the Cretaceous, an era still poorly understood. Rebbachisaurus deserves a spotlight not just for what it was, but for what it can teach us about a forgotten continent of dinosaurs. In the early 90s, a new dinosaur name captured imaginations: Seismosaurus, the earth-shaking lizard, thought to be one of the longest dinosaurs ever discovered, stretching more than 130 feet. It immediately became a media darling. But the excitement didn't last. Later analysis revealed that the bones likely belonged to an unusually large specimen of Diplodocus. As a result, the name Seismosaurus was officially retired, absorbed into the older genus. However, the public never really let go of it. Books, toys, and museums continued to use the name, creating a curious divide between scientific accuracy and popular memory. For many, Seismosaurus remains an icon of their childhood fascination with dinosaurs. The controversy illustrates how names matter not just in taxonomy, but in imagination. A powerful name can breathe life into bones, while a dull one can bury a discovery in obscurity. Scientists strive for precision, but stories shape what we remember. Seismosaurus might be gone on paper, but it still stomps through the minds of millions. It's a lesson in how fossils live on not only in stone, but in the myths we build around them. Aeipisaurus, discovered in France in the 1850s, is known from just one humerus, a single arm, bone. That's it. No skull, no vertebrae, no clue what the rest of the dinosaur looked like. Yet that lonely fossil earned a name and a place in the annals of paleontology. The bone itself is long and slender, possibly belonging to a sauropod or ornithopod. Over time, interpretations have shifted, but no consensus has formed. With so little evidence, Aeipisaurus represents one of the most enigmatic dinosaurs ever named. It highlights a major challenge in paleontology: how much can we infer from so little? In the 19th century, naming a dinosaur based on fragmentary remains was common practice. Today, that approach would be frowned upon, but many such names persist, embedded in scientific literature. Somewhere in France, the rest of Aeipisaurus may still lie buried, waiting to complete its story. Until then, this dinosaur is a ghost, an echo of a species that may never fully emerge from the shadows. It's a humbling reminder that even in science, sometimes all we have is a name, a bone, and a question. As we close this journey through the forgotten dinosaurs of the fossil record, one question remains: how many more giants have we yet to find, or worse, already found but ignored?